What is going on to you, Gemini? So, you Geminis have the Five of Wands, Four of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles right here. These three cards right here for you, Geminis. This is going to be a very interesting reading. Look, the Five of Wands and the Four of Pentacles represents the ground that you Geminis stood on, and you stood on business when it came to how difficult and disrespectful a lot of people can be, right? Very much so unnecessarily. You know, like I've talked about this before, not much, but I've talked about this. The level of disrespect that people can tend to sometimes take with you, Geminis, when they want to get disrespectful, it can be real crazy. It can. And I've said this before, that Gemini shares sadomasochism with Virgo, with Pisces, with Scorpio. It shares it because it shares it from Virgo, because you Geminis will be striving to do right, and people will take advantage or try to take advantage of you, and or the fact that you Geminis really gave someone a chance and they don't really have any kind of depth to them whatsoever, and you Geminis decide to just ghost them because you don't really want an argument, and here they go, they'll try to start to talk to you like you real crazy, or tell you that they're going to get revenge on you and stuff like this, right? Just real unnecessary, over the top, over the top crazy stuff. You know what I mean? And the Four of Pentacles is that I'm glad that you Gemini stood your ground, and I'm glad that you stood your ground. A lot of you Geminis are now able to really cut people out of your life, because when you Geminis are a lot younger, teenage years, early 20s and stuff like this, early to mid 20s, a lot of you Geminis are very much so scared to cut people out of your life. You tolerate way more than what it is that you should, right? You'll be you know what I'm saying? Y'all Geminis will be chilling with somebody, and then y'all will be having a heated conversation, but it's a conversation where it doesn't necessarily mean that the person has to go above and beyond it. They'll take off on you as far as words is concerned, and then you Geminis will be hurt by it, but then you will stay stone-faced and just eat that, because a lot of you Geminis are just wow, and you'll just sit back and just really be quiet and ponder. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it a couple of times, actually. So the thing is that the Two of Pentacles is about how but it's frustrating. And you Geminis know how frustrating it is to stay quiet sometimes when so many people coming at you and they're disrespectful. But a lot of you Geminis now, like I said before, are standing your ground. If a person thinks that they have so much value, why aren't they showing it? Why are they constantly talking about how they want you to show value, but they don't actually, all this talking that they doing, the value should be so obviously clear that what they're bringing to the table. It's like eye-opening, oh my gosh, right? Their eyes should get big, oh my gosh, because that should kind of imply how much value one is bringing to the table, right? But so the Two of Pentacles represents the frustration of the stupidity and the downright delusion of modern day connections, regardless of whatever kind of connections it is. It's complicated because of how warped it is, right? The Six of Cups now and the King of Swords. The Six of Cups represents, obviously, this person coming back. Ex-friend, ex-friend, ex-romantic interest. It could even be a family member. Well, you can't ex a family member, but you born into it. You can't, but this person is coming back. more so romantic interest, trying to get your attention, trying to find out what you Geminis got going on, expecting you Geminis to forgive them just based upon you seeing their face. And the King of Swords, they want to act like they're smarter than you. They're quite pompous. They're quite privileged. They're, now granted, they may not actually, I mean, they might be, but they may not be very privileged in reality. But the delusion of grandeur is they can just come back into your life and, you Geminis will accept them, and it's favorable for you Geminis to accept them. This is what they're thinking now. I'm just putting you Geminis into the mind frame of how they think, because they benefited you so much. Anyway, so the Page of Wands now and the Strength card and the Two of Swords, they can't take it, Geminis. My dear Geminis, they can't take it. They can't take it, because the Page of Wands and the Strength card and the Two of Swords is about how now the shoe is on the other foot, because you Geminis are thinking about them like, okay, like asking them what's going on. Like, okay, you don't see value in them anymore. Like, what? Some of you could be talking to them and asking them, but some of you who are not talking to them, you just kind of thinking back and really reflecting and really pondering the pros and the cons. And again, a lot of you Geminis just don't see the value in them like that. Like, a lot of you Geminis are like, they're a burden. They create drama. They don't know how to control their emotions. They're emotionally illiterate, which means that there's no progress in a relationship if you were to ever get back together with them. More than likely, they haven't grown. They haven't changed. They haven't made any kind of improvements, any kind of adjustments. So it's like a lot of you Geminis are kind of really holding your tongue and telling them that they're useless or they're worthless to you. But some of you may just be the part of you Geminis who decide that you're going to talk to them again. You're not going to say that. You're not going to tell them that they're worthless. You just may ask them, well, okay, what can they bring to the table? You may just come straight out and ask them this, where you Geminis who don't even talk to them and refuse to talk to them, you've already come to your conclusion, because you Geminis already know what it is that they are about. And the Two of Swords represents how, they don't want to admit that they don't really have a whole lot that they can offer to you. They don't want to admit that. They don't want to admit that. I mean, there wouldn't be anything wrong, but you know what I mean? They don't want to admit that. You see, they don't want to admit that part. So because of the fact that they don't want to admit that, that's what makes it so crazy, because they essentially buried their head in their own sand, in their own delusion. Like, they're useless to you Geminis, and the thing is that they know that, but they're too sorry to ever change that, to ever actually do right. So it's like, what exactly are they actually doing at the end of the day? And the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Swords now is about, for you Geminis who ask that question, you're not really going to get a reply on that. This is what the Wheel of Fortune is. The Wheel of Fortune, the tick-tocking, right? The Jeopardy, the wheel, right? Tick, ding, 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 bing, 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 bing. Like, they're just thinking about it, and or they're doing a lot of talking, but they're not making coherent sense. Well, the reason the square root of 34 is this number is because of X, Y, and Z. And it's like, hey, I asked you why you would be valuable to me. I didn't ask you the square root of 64. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to be able to answer that question. They're not going to be able to answer that question for you Geminis who ask. For you Geminis who decide not to ask, you're just going to ghost them. And then they're going to be like, I almost had you, but I squandered the opportunity to get you back, because they're delusional. They don't have any value. They're just trying to, get you Geminis back together with them because you're the best thing that they've ever had. You're the best person that they've ever had so far, right? So let's clarify the Six of Cups. The Death card, Eight of Cups, the World, Two of Wands. It don't look good for them. Ten of Wands. Isn't it self-explanatory? All right, I'm going to go through it. To clarify the Six of Cups, the Death card and the Eight of Cups right here speaks to how you Geminis meant what it is that you said, and that you really don't want anything to do with them, and you haven't sought out to get back at them at all. And this is something that they're really heartbroken over. The fact that you Geminis decided you're really sticking to your word here, and that you're not actually going to be with them. You're not. You walked away from them, but the thing is, they can't let it go though. They know good and well that you're very serious about not having them around, but they can't let you go. I still got stalkers still to this day who gave me a hard time, who had an opportunity to date me, but they didn't want to do right. Pure stupidity. You stalking me, but I gave you a fair chance to actually date me, but you stalking me. Like, what kind of sense? So it's the same scenario for you Geminis. This person can't do right. Not with you. They caught up in the dysfunction. But at the same time, they know that you Geminis are serious. They know that. But they just don't want to take no for an answer because they are still attached to you Geminis. And the thing about it is that the World card represents, and they know it to be true because you Geminis haven't been around them much. The Two of Wands and the Ten of Wands, they just keep thinking about you not being with them. And the mystery of what you have been up to is really too much for them to bear. They're thinking about the kind of quality dates that you've probably went on. You started talking to brand new people. You loving your life. You Gemini's probably posting up too much pictures on social media that they're looking at, or they're looking for whatever kind of, whatever kind of situation there is. They just can't let you Geminis go just yet. So the thing is that it's real crazy. So the Ten of Wands is about, like I said, them not really wanting to let go of this connection that they had at one point. But let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune. Let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune. That's sad. That's sad. That brings a tear to my eye. The Queen of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, Three of Swords, Four of Cups, and then Ace of Swords to clarify the Wheel of Fortune. So the Queen of Cups and the Three of Swords is because you can't clarify a card with the same card. It defeats the purpose. But the Queen of Cups and the Three of Swords speaks to, again, you Geminis don't feel guilty at all that you don't want them because they had their fair chance. They blew it. The Four of Cups, the Ace of Swords, they were hard to deal with. They were insufferable. You Geminis don't want that headache. You Geminis were the ones that was giving them a chance. They blew it. comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. There's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website where there's all the ways to get a personal reading from me, as well as a birth chart reading, as well as the books that I have that are on Amazon. Or you can contact me at Kareemspiritworks@yahoo.com if you want a reading. So, and for all the trolls and the goofies that hit me up in the emails, stop doing that, yo. I'm not giving you any money. I'm not giving you anything.